Good stuff. My fun one was how many pieces of gum I've chewed in my lifetime.
So much so this boy.
You were about.
I don't know why it's boy.
No,
so sorry.
you were about to say the other B word.
This. Oh, no, I wasn't actually.
You were like this.
I want you to tell the world what you've been up to lately, because there is something very exciting under your docket, and I'm gonna say it. You don't like to say it, so I'm gonna make you have the platform to say it.
Welcome back to Where's My Coffee podcast. I am Perris.
I'm Georgia.
And this is episode 9.
I was
Don't
about
you
to do it
say
again.
it. Don't you do it.
Yo, I was really about to do it again, and everything in my being just stopped.
I said as soon as I say...
I was so close to saying it.
As
wow.
soon as I said as soon as I say the episode number, I'm just jumping right into the podcast.
Thank you so much, because I do need to get out of the habit of it. I really
I mean,
do.
it's a nervous tick. Let's just say it like that.
It's one of those things where it's like, we don't just like do something different. You know what I mean?
I just tried.
No,
I just tried to do something different.
No. Me personally.
Oh,
like,
okay.
why do I always feel the need to like follow up with episode 9?
Serious note. I'm
Yeah.
gonna let them in on behind the scenes stuff.
Okay.
We literally recorded this intro 5 times.
Perris kept stumbling.
Okay. And
No
then
offense.
I tried something different. You know, like, welcome to Where's My Coffee podcast. I'm the one and the only Perris. She
I
didn't
just
like
couldn't do it.
But you just
Felt too
contradicted
corny.
yourself and said sometimes you got to do something different to break that habit.
But what I mean by do something different, I
Double
mean
standard.
like we have our like little intro.
Ching ching.
Yeah, our little jingle, shall we say. But my whatever I follow up with isn't part of the jingle, and I was almost like repeating it to be part of the
You know
jingle.
what? I like
Do you
how
know
you
what I
just
mean?
worded that. The jingle.
Yeah,
That is our
so
jingle.
the jingle is what it is.
Consistent.
And we keep it consistent, and I like it. It's got a little jazzy, not really jazzy. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, but then what I say after, I feel like I need to think about what I'm going to say, but I never do.
Yeah.
And then I'm in the moment. And it's just anyway.
And that's how you know we don't have a script.
We don't have a script.
We don't have a script.
We keep it raw. We keep it real. Keep it
We
natural.
keep it authentic.
Authentic works too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been really cool if we said the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, how are you though? No, I got you first.
Okay. Fair enough.
Why do I feel like this is the most cheesiest beginning to an episode? But no, how are you? What's new with you? Because there's been a lot of what's new with me. I want you to tell the world what you've been up to lately, because there is something very exciting under your docket, and I'm gonna say it. You don't like to say it, so I'm gonna make you have the platform to say it.
Okay, I'm gonna start off with my week. I've had.
You don't even have to start off the
I had
week.
a good
Just
week.
the highlight.
The highlight of this week.
Sorry, let's even take it back. I don't even need to know about your week. I need you to tell me exactly, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm giving you the platform to tell everybody your successes.
I told you to find a creative way.
No.
To throw it in there, maybe in the middle of the pod.
Nope.
But you went straight for it. Okay, fair enough.
Sorry if I made it uncomfortable, but people need to know your successes.
You know, in life we have goals.
Yes.
Whether it's a profession, just your day-to-day life, you have goals. You have a bucket list. I am an actor. I have been in this industry for
all my life.
Well, I say since 12. That's when I wanted to become an actor.
It's pretty much all your life, really.
Yeah, pretty much all my life. But when I talk about specifics and I say I went professional in 2014.
Yep.
The reason why I say 2014 is because that's when I got an agent. Yeah, that's when I got an agent and started to do, legit auditions and everything, getting booked and things like that. So, yeah. Yeah. I became SAG eligible in 2014.
Yep.
So I said, okay, game time.
Yeah.
Game time. I'm finally sniffing the union, and I was in a good spot where I could do non-union work and union work, SAG eligible. And again, back to the goals. As an actor, I have so many goals. And one of them in particular was just accomplished. And that was
set for to do before the end of the year, right? that was one of your yearly 2024 goals? I'm pretty sure it was.
That was it. Oh my goodness. It was.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well,
a goal
let's say what
set.
it was first.
Hold on. It's a goal set every year until I accomplish it.
This is suspense.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So it could have been, if I didn't accomplish it this year, it would have been a goal for next year. But I'm an actor. One of my goals was to be booked for a character or a recurring role in the television show. Recurring meaning a minimum of 2 episodes in a television show, and I can tick that off the list, off the bucket list, off the goal list. And how it came about was very
out of nowhere.
Yeah,
well,
it was
spontaneous.
It was spontaneous.
Almost.
I mean, it got to a point where I forgot what project I auditioned for. Got a call. I was at work, got a call, and it was my agent. And I was not expecting her to give or to share the news that she was calling about. I just had thought, oh, she's calling just to check in. I'm going to see her and the team next weekend.
Weeks,
yeah. So that's what I thought she was just calling for. And then she told me, hey, great news. You booked a role for such and such. And I was like, I don't remember auditioning for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then she explained, I was like, oh, that. And she said, well, it's not for a character you auditioned for. This, they're offering you a role.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do feel like the way you got that role, even though it wasn't what you auditioned for, you clearly set an impression on the people, which made them think, hey, you're not good for this role that you auditioned for, but we're going to remember you. And now that there's a role that has come up that fits your criteria your demeanor or whatever, they're like, perfect, let's give him a call. Yeah. This is it. To me, that's like, I don't know. Because it means that you've planted a seed in their brain to remember you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm looking to.
No. When I was on set shooting for one of the episodes, the executive producer, and I won't say any names just to save, to protect their, not that they need protecting. Anyway, but he came up to me and basically said that, hey, you booked the room. And we're so glad that
I get it. Yeah, booked the room because you. Yeah.
No, it's not something not the role you auditioned for, but you made, you know what I mean? So that was very humbling and very reassuring to hear.
Yeah.
And it's still, again, I have a weird way of showing excitement and things like that.
It's not even that you're like super humble, because I do think you still talk on and like share what you do.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like you just always get very uncomfortable when you do tell people of your successes and what you're doing. And I don't know if it's because you don't believe that it's happening, or if it's a case of like you don't want people to judge whether it's a role of value or not.
It's a mixture of that, but also, I mean, if you want to get down to the psychology of it, like growing up, my parents just always act like you've been here before. Like, you know what I mean? We're not.
It's business.
Yeah, it's just like this. You did what you were supposed to do.
Yeah.
You got this because you were supposed to. Like, you know what I mean? You do good. We're not going to reward you for doing what you were supposed to do. So, like, I think I still have that mindset of, when I get these things, I don't know how to just sit in it and celebrate it. You know what I mean? I'm always just like, all right, cool. Okay. The next thing, or not even the next thing, but I'm worried about, okay, how do I perfect this thing? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, right before we started shooting, I was just like, cause I told, when we recorded the last episode, I said, hey, we're not going to bring it up. I'm not going to say anything about it, but I got to stop doing that to myself.
100%.
But, yeah, it's still surreal.
I can't wait for it to come out. I don't know what the timeline is for it.
Me neither.
Who knows? Sometimes, I mean, there's things that you recorded and took almost like a year to come out.
Well, usually, I think this probably won't
be as long because it's TV.
Probably out until maybe
next year.
Next year?
Maybe.
Well, yeah, for sure next year.
Okay.
Maybe early next year.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be advertised by the end of this year,
No, I'm excited because, I
worked with some
good people.
Really, yeah.
I'm excited to see how it comes out. I'm also hopeful that because it's obviously a pilot season, that people do like the show.
Yeah.
Because if
sure.
the role that you were given, it sounds like if it was to have other seasons, your character would 100% be in the mix.
Yeah,
which then would turn into a season regular.
Yeah, that's definitely the next goal. Definitely the next goal. And it's funny because when I told people what character I was playing, the general consensus it was like,
that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because his character is
very pretentious.
Yeah, pretentious. A little.
Well, don't tell them the specifics. But,
no. Okay. Pretentious. A little like I'm too good for you energy. I guess
arrogant.
Maybe,
very arrogant. Very
arrogant.
Word. Yeah. Forgot where he came from. And...
Yeah, it's funny because it's like you. It's not that you as a personality, like.
There's source material for it, for sure.
Yeah, it's like you have like little characteristics, but like in very small doses where it's not like you're doing the most, but enough that it's like, oh, I can see you playing that role. Yeah. Like, for example, if you were to play some sort of like, I don't know, really like emotionally depressive character, I feel like you could tap into it, but people would be like, oh, wow, I'll be excited to see you in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, that makes perfect sense. I mean, I am a emotionally driven person.
Yeah.
But I don't think people would
like a depressive state.
It's not
like
a go-to character.
If you were to go on to Euphoria or something and like be one of those like really like emotionally driven, I feel like you'd be more than capable of playing that sort of role. But it wouldn't be an instant like, oh, I could see that. See, Do you know what I mean?
No, for sure. And like I'm not going to say that it's giving the whole typecast energy, you know what I mean? But honestly, but this is a character type that I really do feel comfortable with, and I do love playing.
I feel like the whole typecast thing, people put such a negative like
connotation on it.
Yeah, like just typecast it. It's just like, okay, but if you're good at playing that role, like don't fix what ain't broke. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you never want to be boxed in. You never want to be limited. But
if you're being booked.
But yeah, no, for sure.
Unless you as an actor are getting frustrated with people not giving you a chance to expand your character development of other roles, and then that's where the frustration is, then I can see why that would be annoying. Yeah. But if you're so content with just continuing similar type roles and just thriving in that character, then embrace it. Because there are actors out there that you just know that that's the sort of role they're going to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. It's
ways to it though.
There is, but it's like there are actors out there who have consistently played the bad guy their whole life. Yeah, that you associate them with
like their actual personality,
their like you think that's who they are.
Yeah,
and it's molded into their action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I wouldn't say that like every time someone sees me, I wouldn't want them to
just think you're arrogant.
Just think it's like, oh, he always plays the arrogant guy.
Yeah.
I want them to see me and be like, oh, this is a clean slate.
Yeah.
Because he plays so many different roles.
I could see how, as an actor, you would strive for that. But I don't think there's anything wrong with any actors out there who are booking.
If you're in my position, and I'm just grateful to be working. Yeah. And I do have I guess limits or there are things. I'm not going to say yes to everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I am grateful, always grateful to be working, always grateful to get an audition, super grateful and thankful to have this opportunity, because now I feel like this is like
it's the like lighting the fire.
Yeah. This is definitely the spark I needed at the right time.
Yep.
You know?
I'm
excited. I'm super excited. Can't wait to continue to work. And
I'm sorry. I know you did mention that you wanted me to slip it in subtly, but I was like, you know what? Was that a little too much? Anyway.
Yeah, I gotta pause that. But continue.
But I just thought, we were going to try and slip it in last time. You said don't, but I might have done it anyway. But
wow.
Right? Yeah.
No, you just said. You hear what you just said?
Yeah. I was going to try to, but it didn't make sense.
Yeah, you were going to try to slip it in. I told you not to, but you did anyway.
Okay,
Wow, that's insane.
If anyone just tunes into this part of the
that
episode,
is
they're going to be like, what the heck are they talking
just
about?
Going in. Anyway.
All that to say,
but she's my. I want to acknowledge. I wouldn't have gotten this role if it wasn't for her help as well. She has been my scene partner, my audition partner.
I'm always
my
behind the camera
Oh
reading.
my gosh!
I think I'm like 90% of the reason why you get your auditions.
Yeah, no, yeah. I got. Hey,
They're
I
like,
got.
we just want to listen to the Australian in the back. No, there's no credit for me.
No, but it's interesting because when I do get an audition breakdown, they do say, make sure you have a good reader.
Oh, it does say that.
Yeah. So
you never told me that. You never give me that pressure, I guess.
I never want to give you that pressure because you will wear that, and But so it has worked. It has worked a lot. She has been the right.
It's not easy. Right. I'll tell you. I always get very overwhelmed, and I try to.
There should be a TV show for that.
What? Being scene partners when you're not an actor.
Being the wife of actors, being their their audition partners, their readers, and everything.
But yeah, acting role, first recurring role.
Yeah. So
check it off the list.
Stay tuned. I will keep you guys
with the releasing
updated,
of it. For sure.
What it was that I was working on.
Cool.
So last week we did question on the go, which was what?
I thought you were going to take this over. Question on the go last week.
Well, no, the one that we did
From
last week. I thought you were introducing it.
Oh, okay. I can do that. Yeah. So last week's question on the go was, if you could know one statistic of your life, what would it be? Mm-hmm. And both of us were kind of thinking.
You know what my go-to was going to be?
What?
How many times I blinked.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, but that's probably everyone's go-to.
That's not my.
It didn't cross your mind?
No, there was two approaches that I was thinking. Either we can go very deep.
Yeah.
Or we could go. These innuendos that you are holding on to me every time I say something.
It's gonna be that type of episode. It's gonna be that type of episode.
Something really deep, and then something just fun and playful.
Got it.
So
give me the deep one first.
The deep one first. This is maybe a little morbid.
Oh my. Okay, go ahead.
Do you know where this is going? Probably. How many times you were close to death? Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yo,
I don't actually know if I would want to know that, but how many moments that you were close to death?
Crazy.
Could you imagine?
That gave me chills a little bit.
Because then if the statistic was really low, it's okay, cool, love that. But then if you had a really high ratio, that just means you are the luckiest human alive. You know what I mean? I feel the statistic.
Oh my gosh.
I wouldn't want to know when the moments were.
And let's not stay on that.
No, not too long.
Because
no.
I don't like that stuff.
But yeah, I wouldn't want to know the moments, but I would want to know just yeah, that would be my deep one. What do you have a deep one? Do you have more than one?
Yeah,
okay.
I have mine. Deep one was how many times I stopped breathing, or how many times my
what? That's basically just death. What do you mean stop breathing?
Death. Wait, hold on.
What do you mean stop breathing?
Oh, so you don't
with your insomnia?
Okay. Let's slow down just a little bit because I feel judged.
I'm not judging you.
I'm an asthmatic.
Yeah.
I have anxiety.
It's asthmatic. No, not as. It's not a Z. Sorry, anyway, continue. I'm judging. You're right. Continue.
Yeah. I'm an asthmatic. I'm going to say it the way it's spelled. Oh my God. I have anxiety. Mm-hmm. All the A's, double A. Let's see if I can get a triple A. And the third one is I just forget to breathe. So with all that mixed together, it's sometimes I'm driving, right?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh snap, I forgot to breathe. I have, how many times does that happen? Well, maybe I think the better thing is how many times.
How often are you holding your breath?
How often am I holding my breath?
That's probably better. Because you're not breathing. That's breathing. You're dead at that point.
I mean, you're holding your breath. You stop breathing. You've stopped breathing to hold your breath. When you hold your breath, you stop breathing. I think
that's semantics. But yeah, okay, cool.
I don't think it's semantics.
No, but when someone says how many times did I not breathe, that gives the impression that you're done. You're not going to stop breathing again. But if you say how often do I hold my breath? Okay. I feel that provides a different statistic. Let me paint this better. You
know how when you're on the couch
and I go,
yes,
yeah,
you've stopped breathing.
I've held my breath.
All right, cool. We'll go with that. We'll go. How many times I've held my breath?
Yeah. And then my playful would be. How I don't know if I should say this. How many times people look at me when I don't realize they're looking at me?
Why couldn't you say that?
Because it's like maybe like a little pretentious, like how many times people stare at me.
We're not even.
Do you know what I mean?
You are a hot commodity in these streets.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm so aloof when I'm walking around. And like I would just be curious, like how often people like what that statistic is.
Got you.
Anyway.
Okay. I like. Yo,
Sorry, I feel really weird doing that.
Yours are so interesting.
Thank you.
And thought provoking.
Thank you.
Because now I want to know how many people have looked at me and I just didn't know.
Yeah.
And also I want to know how many times I might have been close.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great one, babe.
Scary to think about, but like, yeah.
Good stuff. My fun one was how many pieces of gum I've chewed in my lifetime.
So much so this boy.
You were about.
I don't know why it's boy.
No,
I'm so sorry.
You were about to say the other B word.
This. No, I wasn't actually.
You were like this.
This boy.
Oh my God.
He chewed. So I feel like we spoke about your tooth scenario in one of our episodes.
I'm gonna have teeth issues. Okay.
But sorry, I just didn't want you to get into your teeth issues because we don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
But because of that, he's naturally just always chewed gum. Oh my gosh, why am I starting? He's naturally always just chewed gum on one side, and it got to a point where he'd come home from work and his mastoid muscles or whatever they're called.
Jaw.
There's a muscle. It's because I also said an M in your jaw. But anyway, the muscle was literally like inflamed and like poking out because of how often and how long he was chewing through the day. I'm like, you either need to switch sides or get some Listerine strips if you need some sort of mint.
Yeah, I've have retired chewing gum, but I've chewed gum all my life, and chewing gum is like a safe haven.
It's kind of like
cigarette smoking.
Well, yeah, I guess that too. No, I'm more thinking like a stress relief.
Yeah. Yeah. But everything I do now is stems from childhood. Like, I think that's the story of everybody. But yeah,
I feel like when it comes to childhood, you always hold childhood things very, I don't want to say close to your heart, but almost like you find a way to like always bring your mannerisms and what you do because of your childhood, which I think there's truth to that.
Trauma.
Wow. Well,
trauma doesn't always have to be heavy, or
that's
you know what
true.
I mean. It's just
situationships. Wait, what?
Situational.
Situational.
Speaking of situationships.
Wait, no, there ain't no situationships.
All right, yeah, but yeah, no, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because now I probably it goes back to your how many times you might have been close to. Mm-hmm. I think that the blinking.
Oh.
We've probably blinked
Trillions, billions.
What's past that?
Yeah. I don't know.
Gazillions. You know what I mean?
I don't even know how you can. I mean, that's the point of the whole question.
I think I've chewed gum probably trillions of times my whole entire life.
That's interesting.
Like, the amount of gum I chewed is probably trillions, in the trillions.
I actually don't really believe you on that one because I don't feel like that's actually possible. You're definitely probably in like the thousands, tens of thousands, but I don't think we're up to trillions.
Pieces of gum?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
Like actually do the math.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're a little dramatic there.
Maybe the motion of chewing is probably in the trillions.
Oh yeah. The action, but the actual pieces of gum. Okay. Potato.
Yeah.
But question on the go for this
week.
episode. What do we got for people to comment down below?
Question on the go for episode 9. If you could meet your future self, what would you tell them?
Love that.
Yeah.
Comment down below. We love to hear it. Share it. Ask people around you. If you don't have something, put down what they told you. Let's start the conversation.
Because it's such a great question.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Let me ask a question that's kind of opposite.
Okay.
For us to discuss right now.
Okay.
If you could, and this is the typical generic question, if you could go back in the past and tell yourself of the past, like your younger self.
Yeah.
If you can meet your younger self.
What would I say?
What would you say?
Everything's gonna be all right. No.
That was a serious question.
No, I'm actually literally though. Like
you're gonna,
I'm being funny about it, but like everything, whenever you feel like it's not going well or not something's not happening the way you want it to happen, like everything will be all right. Like everything will work out the way it's supposed to. Whatever you're stressed about now is, yeah, everything will be all right. It's not it like life will keep lifing. You keep trotting. Do you know what I mean? Like I put like playful to it, but like when it really comes down to it, like I remember back in high school, I would be so stressed and anxious about like homework and not being able to do the homework and like being so overwhelmed with all my to-do lists. And I just remember my dad being like, all right, well, write it down. What do we have to do right now? What's the first thing you have to do? And it's just like going through the steps. It's just like, once you're through it, he was like, well, how was that? I was like, yeah, it was actually all right. You know what I mean? It was just like, everything's going to be all right. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
See, I'm not, I don't like being too serious.
Yeah, that's a difference.
But there is serious to what I say. If that makes sense.
Seriousness to it. I mean, shoot, this girl can be serious when she's serious, but by default,
Yeah.
All right, well, to serious out even more, what I would tell my younger self is don't focus too much time on being or trying to be liked.
That's
because
a good
you're
one.
going to be loved later.
Oh, by me?
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, so
that's cute. I like that.
Yeah.
Where'd you cook that up? I like that a lot.
Just now, because when I was younger, I was just trying to be liked by everybody, trying to just have friends. But it's like, hey, that's probably the reason why you failed the 4th grade. That's probably the reason why you had, trouble in school. It's probably the reason why you were bullied and this and that third. Just don't worry about being liked.
Yeah. I like that. I think a lot of people can take.
I mean, how do you tell a kid that? But like,
I
you
know,
know what I'm saying? But
it's the world's ending
at
that age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like at that age, like the concept of how much more of life you have is just so like foreign and like, yeah, it's like there's no way that exists. There's a world out there that like what you're doing right now really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's funny that you just said like it's interesting how everything that I do, I kind of like stem it. Like I think that it stems from my childhood.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of just like the art of nostalgia and nostalgic things. Like,
there are people out there that are very nostalgic, aka you.
Yeah.
And then I don't look at myself as very nostalgic.
Really?
No. Like I'll always think back to like memories and things of the past and like things I played with as a kid and like certain memories as a child, but I never look back and I'm like, oh, so nostalgic. I would do anything to like relive that, or not because it was so bad.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some moments I'm like, ugh, it was easier to a degree. But there are moments where I'm just like, no, but that was the time then. This is the time now. I'm living in the present. I don't need to live in the past. And I can just remember the memories, but not like ponder on them in a way that people get like upset with nostalgic. It's like, oh, the nostalgia. That makes me so upset that, you know what I mean? Like that.
Like, not upset, but like sad.
Sad. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just like yucking your yum because you love the nostalgia.
I love you, and I love the fact that you are different, and that we are different from. What I'm saying is like different from one another. Like
I'm one of a kind.
I'm listening to you, and I'm just like, wow, you should be studied.
Interesting.
Like your mind and how you think of things, or what you think of things, or how you think of things, and as you were saying it, I was just like, yeah, she seems like the person that just, when it's done, it's done, and you moved on to the next thing. You don't wear it, you don't, you know what I mean? But for me,
it's exhausting.
Yeah, it can be, and you've helped me.
Yeah.
But the other day I was just randomly driving, just daydreaming, and I was just thinking about how before I would, go out and catch the bus. For school, I would go into, my mom and dad's room, and I would ask my dad for some lunch money. You know what I mean? And he'd be asleep, but he'd wake up a little bit, grab his pants, his work pants, and He'll dig in his pockets for find any change or dollar bills that he had. You give it to me and that'll be my lunch. You know what I mean? And I don't know why I thought about that, but it was just a random memory that just brought me back to that moment when I was in third grade.
Yeah.
Asking my dad for lunch money. You know what I mean? And I don't know if it stemmed from me just thinking of my dad. You know what I'm saying? And
it's cute.
What's up, Dad?
You better be watching. I'm joking.
the visual of him, you know, grabbing, and I could tell you what type of pants they were.
Yeah.
I could tell you, you know, the look in his, like the scrunched up, you know, trying to keep his eyes closed but open so he could see enough to grab them. Yeah, I could just see all that, you know.
Yeah, see, I just look at those sort of things as like memories and like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nostalgia is like my source of inspiration. Like I'm not inspired unless it has a little nostalgia mixed in it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I find that a lot with music. With you, like if there's a beat that like feels nostalgic, you eat it up.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy?
Yo.
Like, you know when people like with like toys or like whatever you used to do in the past, like the nostalgia of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our nostalgic items are different. Like you even just talking about the school bus and being on the school bus.
Oh, before
we don't
I
have school buses. Yeah, well, nostalgia is like back in the day, like high school, primary school.
Yeah, you
like we didn't.
You guys don't have school buses?
The yellow school bus? No, that is very American. We don't have school buses.
Were they white school buses?
Well, there were bus options, and if you went to like a private school, I think they had school buses, but.
Are you sure?
I am positive. If we ever caught the bus, it was a public bus.
Okay, so okay.
There weren't any buses like specific for school students, unless you were in a private school or like a Catholic school or something like that.
So at your primary school,
my mom or dad would drop me off every single morning and pick me up.
All right. Well, I mean, here in America too, there was still carpools, you know, but there was never a bus lot. Like there was never a train of buses, school buses coming into the
not unless
drop
if we had an
Scott?
excursion, maybe, but not
excursion. A fire drill or something?
No. What do you guys call them? Excursion, like
field trip.
Field trip. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so
wow,
that's when
excursion field trip. Okay, sorry.
Wow. So that's when the school buses will show up, not to drop kids. What was the population of your school?
Oh, don't get me lying. I mean, I remember, depends what school you went to, but primary school from kindergarten to 6th grade is what is in Australia.
So let's say there was, 100 students at your primary school.
I would say a little bit more than that.
Okay, 300.
Maybe, yeah.
All of them are getting dropped off. Mm-hmm. That doesn't...
Well, because I remember there was probably like two or three classes within a grade of the same year. And every classroom had probably about 20 kids in it.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of gas.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. People did catch public transport to school. But
okay.
The yellow school bus is not a thing.
You know what? When we drove past your primary school,
yeah.
It was like gated off and it was off of a street.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like y'all had a parking lot and all that stuff.
No, not really.
Okay,
yeah.
So all right, I guess.
Now, we lived close enough that once we got a little bit older, it got to the point where Mum was like, take the bus home. I can't be bothered to come and pick you up. And we always would hate that because we could walk. We could walk from school. It was that close. But it was just a little bit longer than you wanted it to be.
How old were you?
Mum did start doing that.
Okay, all right, so there was a certain point
that she started doing. It was once my oldest sister was in like the later half of primary school, 5th or 6th grade. So I was still young, but my older sister would be with us to like
got you. Okay.
Help.
I'm just trying to imagine like
I just remember and I'd be like we would look at each other and be like, oh my God, I don't want to catch the bus. Yeah. But then once I got into high school, that's all I did because my school driving was like a 45-minute drive and I was going like towards the city, so traffic was atrocious. So I would get dropped off at the closest train station, catch a train into the city, then catch a bus. No, actually it was all train. Then catch a train straight into the city.
The train systems in Australia
are amazing.
Oh. Yeah. From the outside looking in, they look amazing, but they stressed me out.
Well, that's just because it's foreign to you. Once you know the lines and everything like that, it's fine. I wish more parts of America would really embrace public transport the way that other countries do. Because like even in Europe, like Paris, the Tube, London, there's just so much more benefits to public transport. But over here, I feel like there's very limited states that really utilize it for what it can do.
I mean, well, like you said, you have the New York that
Yeah.
you know the I think it's the A train, all that stuff.
That's
like public
the only place
but
that I'm like they actually have a somewhat of a good.
I think the major cities have like the.
We're a major city and now public transport sucks. Think
but
about
it's utilized though.
People use it, yes, but
MARTA's
I think
utilized.
if what we call ITP in the perimeter, like inside 285, if you want to go outside of 285, you catch a bus that might come and takes you forever to get there. Like there's no train lines, there's no you know what I mean?
There's
like,
no train lines that go to up to 85?
They stop at a certain point.
Okay.
And it's like if they do, it's like you get off here.
Got you.
I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah. We know you in traffic.
This ain't
You and your
traffic.
transportations.
No, this is just comparison to America versus
for sure.
Australia.
I like how like we incorporate that now without announcing it. It just happens naturally, which is really dope.
When you just said, when I said excursion and you had no idea what I said, that's a new one that's ever come up because I don't think we've ever had to talk about that. It's an excursion.
Confronting.
Field trip.
Field trip.
So dramatic. That's kind of like you guys say vacation. We say holidays.
I like holiday.
We're going on a holiday.
For sure.
I like it better. Vacation feels like a movie. Because I used to hear it in the movies. What are you doing for vacation?
Yeah.
I wanted to keep on the topic of nostalgia really quickly.
Talk to me.
Because I do feel like I dabbled in how it will be different, what our nostalgic items are, like as a kid, like toys.
Yeah.
My toys as a kid are going to be different from your toys as a kid.
Yeah. What's a smell that's nostalgic to you, that takes you back?
So, as I said, I'm not really nostalgic.
I forgot that
But
quick.
the way I can relate to that is perfume for me.
I think we asked this question.
I think we
before on
did
the
too.
pod. Yeah, you're right.
But perfume is something that like I'll go back and smell the smell.
There's a Chanel perfume that you had when I first met you that you got recently meaning like the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It took me right back to 2015. Yeah.
There's there's even a perfume that I would always wear like when we went out and I smelt it and I'm like, I don't like that one.
Oh, man.
There was one that I wore to the gym. I would always just wear it to the gym for some reasons that made me think of the gym.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess there we go. If I'm going to think nostalgic, my nostalgia is with perfumes.
Sweet.
But yeah, childhood, I'm like, it's just a memory.
Yeah.
I don't ponder.
I think I mentioned this to you earlier too. I felt like fall is the most nostalgic season out of the four.
See, another thing.
Yeah.
For me, not so much.
Not so much?
For me, if anything, more of my memories happen in summer. Because for me, summer is Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Summer is my birthday.
Yeah.
Summer is the beginning of the new year, going into like a new year of school.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like always a moment. So
Gotcha.
I would say my nostalgic season is summer. But I can see why in America it would be fall.
Yeah.
Because it's like moody and like
Halloween
memories.
Yeah.
Change of the... I could see that. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. So...
I know what you were saying, but let's change the topic real quick.
Yeah.
We were getting a little too mushy gushy and we've got to shake it up a little spicy. Love Island. I don't want to talk about it too much.
Yeah.
But as you all know, we are...
As some may know, meaning...
Well, no. Now you all know.
Oh.
We are Love Islanders.
We are
through and through.
Love Island
from the
connoisseurs.
beginning. We didn't just jump on the bandwagon when the USA became popular. Like we've been in it. We've been watching it for years. And going back to, I think it's season 5.
Season 5, yeah.
One of our favorite seasons of the UK, where Molly and Tommy...
I don't think they didn't win. They got second place, right?
But they were our beloved couple that came out of the season.
Yeah.
And if you do follow up in pop culture, they just
Separated.
Or did they officially separate? I guess they did.
When you put out a public statement.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like
They officially separated.
Yeah.
And obviously, everyone. There's things that happen behind closed doors in those public eyes that we'll never understand. Nor should we ever need to understand.
Yeah.
But seeing that they split, I was just like, oh.
It sent shockwaves for sure.
It did. And it also just like, it makes you realize that like sometimes the public eye, you don't really know what's going on. Like you're always seeing highlight reels of people. You know what I mean? Like there's so much more to people who are in the public eye and that people like love watching and following. I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
And you don't realize like that they could be struggling behind the scenes. And I think that's the hardest when you do have to make it publicly known that this is now the new and you have judgment.
You're only going to know what people show you. You know what I mean?
100%. But could you imagine like having to do a public breakup and then people coming back to you and like judging you or having hate on you in that situation? Either parties, you know what I mean? Whether you were in the wrong or not in the wrong. But like, I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah, I heard that they had to up their security because, you know, people started approaching Tommy.
Yeah. Which, don't get me wrong, if he did what they're saying, whatever. But I hate to hear it. But don't be calling him and saying bad things about him around him.
Don't harass him. I mean,
right. It's just like, come on, people. Let's be a little bit more humane in this situation.
Yeah.
It's upsetting.
Yeah.
But hey, on a positive side of Love Island.
Well, wait. I mean, we do want to end with, you know, thoughts and prayers and all that stuff to their situation because it is unfortunate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they have a kid together now, so there's a lot more.
We hope that
in the works.
You know, we can only hope that whatever they decide to do, it's worked out and it's, you know,
for the better of both.
The better of both and better of their child. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That I feel like when there's a child in the mix, it becomes priority.
Yeah.
But I do think when something like that happens, it's easy to like maybe stay with it because it's like if a public eye is looking at it, you don't want to cause a scene.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they have made the decision to go their separate ways. For the better of themselves and then also for the better of the kid. Because the kid right now is young enough that like hopefully it won't cause any sort of like trauma or do you know what I mean? So anyway.
Yeah.
It's sad.
But the only reason why we brought that up is because again we had, you know, we're fans of that
that relationship that came out.
Yeah, and also just the show itself, and again that was one of the couples that we followed.
And the fact that like they stayed together, they got a house, they got engaged, they had a baby, like they did all the things, and you're just like, oh my gosh,
inspirational. It's
like a little. You're watching a little like like a little movie in itself.
Yeah, you're watching people grow. You're watching people like, you know what I mean. Exciting. We've seen them before. They fell in love with one another. You know what I mean.
And the dynamic was just so fun. But
again,
I cannot stress enough that the highlight reel that you see online, it's so apparent because maybe I was naive and I didn't dig enough or like know that much within themselves, but I had no idea there was even the slightest of there being an issue.
Yeah.
Some people were like, oh, I knew it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay, but I didn't. So this is very off-putting.
Yeah. She texted me and I immediately called her like we knew, like we know Molly and Tommy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they don't even know who we are, but at the same time. But you know what? I give it to them that they've set that sort of impression on people to care enough about them. That's pretty cool.
No, for sure. Yeah. We all experience, we all have, we all will, we all know people who've experienced heartbreak. And it's not fun. No. It's not fun. You just never know what people are going through. You know what I mean? And but the best thing we can do, the best thing anybody can do in Tommy and Molly's corner is just be there for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
but also, it's not even be there for them. It's just like let them be.
Yeah, like, no. What I'm saying, they're close people in their corner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the best that they can do. 'Cause, you know, we live in 2024, and
everyone wants to know everybody's business.
I'm surprised no one in either of their circles have made a statement or said anything.
I think it's out of respect for sure.
And I respect that.
Yeah.
But we have been so used to that not being the case.
Yeah.
Someone go through something, and even one of the closest people in their corner or whatever is out here monetizing on their you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So that's all I was saying. Like, I've experienced and I know people who've gone through that, and it's never fun. Mm-hmm. It's never fun, you know? So,
do you think if you were in a situation, like hypothetically,
mm-hmm. I love when you have questions.
Hypothetically, if you were in, it doesn't even have to be the public eye. I guess it would have to be. If you were in the public eye mm-hmm. and people knew you as a relationship, it doesn't have to be me. I'm just, you know.
Yeah, you're speaking
hypothetically. And you were going through a breakup and your friend knew what happened, like the actual truth. Mm-hmm. But you weren't publicly saying what happened yet. And you were in the wrong. Mm-hmm. If your friend monetized off that situation by telling like TMZ or something like that, mm-hmm. what would your reaction be?
We're no longer friends. That's an instant betrayal, in my opinion. It's simple and it's easy for me to answer. You know what I mean? Like,
there's no if and no buts.
No.
Yeah, no, I
agree. No.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Especially when you know when we both know I'm in the wrong.
Yeah. Let me tell my truth the way I need to tell it.
Yeah, no, no. How about you?
Yeah, no, same thing.
Same thing?
Yeah. It makes me think of like, you know, bro code, girl code. I feel like this, I know we're talking about Love Island a lot, but it makes me think of Love Island with the bro code, with the girl code within the USA one right now. I know it's over. We're not finished with it yet, so don't have any spoilers. But there's that situation. I think it was, who was it? It was Leah, Liv, and Rob.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, sorry if we are spoiling it. But Liv and Leah got into it because Leah asked her to come over to like back her up. But she didn't back her up because she was like, you're lying. Yeah. And in my mind, I'm like, did she break girl code? Or was it a case of like...
Okay, so the situation was Rob and Leah were having a conversation. Mm-hmm. Rob explaining himself about, you know, why he felt Leah voted off his love interest, which was Andrea. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And them, you know, have an argument and him telling her, hey, I heard and I was told that you kind of conspired to get her off the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then she is in defense mode and then calls Liv over, a third party. And
to have it back,
because Liv is actually the one who told Rob about this and told Rob that Leah was lying about taking the back seat.
Yeah, that was the wording. Yeah. The back seat was the wording.
So Liv comes over and she's like, "What's up?" Yeah. And Leah was like, "Can you tell this idiot that I never did such and such and such?"
But you did.
She's like, "Yeah, but you did. Like, you're lying."
And she's like, "I never said that." And then she was like, "I never said this." And Rob was like, "You literally said that." And is one of those things where I was like, ooh.
So the question was,
is she breaking girl code in that situation? I don't think she is. What do you think? Because I think in this situation, because she has a rapport with Rob, if it was someone who she didn't really care about guy-wise, then sure, have at it.
Yeah, Leah and Liv weren't
Liv
close.
And Rob have obviously now they're having a connection, but like,
Liv, Rob, and Leah had a love triangle.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Because they were coupled up. You're so right.
He was coupled up with both of them. So because of that, there's already like that undertone animosity between Liv and Leah anyway. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And you can kind of see that unfold as they're having this conversation.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect Liv to really show girl code in that moment because one, her loyalty ain't to Leah, you know, so she respects her, but she respects herself enough to be like, yo, one, you're not going to carry my name and other people's name in the mud to lie for yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't think Leah
did anything wrong
on that behalf.
Yeah. What is as a guy looking into like the concept of girl code, I feel like guy code and girl code is slightly different.
So ours is bro code And but go ahead, land your question.
What is like from an outsider looking in, when people will talk about girl code, do you think it's a cop out, or do you think it should be followed? No, like just because I'm a girl, it's girl code. Because I feel like with girls, it's like if we're both women, like support each other no matter what, even if you're a friend with them or not.
Yeah.
I feel like with bro code, it's more of a friend thing. Like if we're buddies, that's where the bro code holds up.
Yeah.
I feel like for women,
Yeah.
sometimes it is a bit more like no matter what, you're a woman, I'm gonna back you.
Exactly.
That's
just our opinion.
Wrong. That's my
no,
opinion.
No.
But that's how
from what we see, that's how I feel that it is.
Yeah.
Because even Serena and her backing of Leah,
right? She's a smart
yes,
girl.
they are. Yeah, but yes, they are girls, and they're really close. Serena's just. I feel like Serena, with all the girls, she's just. It's just girl code all day.
Yeah.
If you're right or wrong.
Right.
Liv it's girl code until you cross that line of being wrong and also lying on me.
Yeah.
That's
Yes, I agree.
With bro code, it's loyalty. It's
if
me
you
and
haven't shown me loyalty, I don't necessarily need to show you.
Yeah, like because there's a bunch of quote unquote bombshells that come in to the villa, and they're coming into all the guys pretty much being close, like close and solidifying that pack.
Yeah.
And then you have a new guy come in.
Yeah.
And he'll click up with some of the guys, like, you know what I'm saying? But there's no loyalty with all the guys in there, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's not
it takes
expected.
time.
So with, Aaron and Rob, there's bro code there.
Yeah.
Because they're like brothers, and there's that respect.
Yeah.
So
I wonder why that is.
Well,
Just like in general, not just like
again,
Love Island related.
if you look at the psychology of things, women,
we need to support each other because of how much we've been through.
Yeah, because of the
imbalances.
Yeah. What about you, Miss Lady? What do you think about girl code? Are you a Liv or? And y'all are both Australian, so you probably are.
We're one of the same.
Yeah.
I respect it, the concept of it,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think I've actually ever been put in a position where I need to like stay true or practice to it. Does that make sense? Like I don't feel
You've
like
never been tested.
No, to have like girl code. I mean, at least I don't think I have. If I have and I failed, then yikes. Because then you know what I mean. But like in my mind, I don't think I've ever been in a position where I've needed to practice that. But I don't know. I think I would have to be in the moment to know whether or not I would. Because if it means like lying for someone, like I don't know. Because the idea of lying, the concept of it, I'm like, it depends. I don't know.
Gotcha.
It depends on the person. It depends on the situation, and it depends why this is happening, or how I would respond.
Got you.
Is that a bad answer? Should I just instantly say like?
You just never
I'm a girl's girl through and through.
No, because Liv wouldn't say that.
Yeah, that's true. No,
I respect Liv. One, not because she's Australian, but she.
You've got a weakness for Australians.
She's just one of principle and
keeping it real.
Right is right, wrong is wrong. You know what I mean? So
I'm a little bit like that sometimes.
But she'll take up for all the girls in there. You know what I mean? And she,
change the topic.
No.
I want to
catch up on Love Island if you haven't.
Oh, 100%.
USA Love Island, USA is
just Love Island in general. Just a nice light watch. You think it's going to be a light watch, but it's not a light watch.
It is messy.
I want to kind of not call you. I feel like I'm always calling you out.
Oh man.
But it's not calling you out. I got to get a better phrase for it.
Okay.
So, just a little. How was my day today? Perris and I have been going through the idea of uploading some TikToks, and Perris has a dance that he's been specifically wanting me to do.
We have a history of doing TikTok
dance challenges.
However,
the dance challenges, this was like back in COVID days. We like kind of got on the bandwagon of doing dance challenges.
What an era.
And it was an era. It was fun and I loved it. I did love it. But the dances back then were more my wavelength, were more my style.
More your cup of coffee.
More my cup of coffee, exactly. And so I was okay with it. But Perris presented me with one that he wanted us to do.
The Kehlani Dance Challenge.
The Kehlani Dance Challenge. And if you know what it is, you know what it is. And you know that maybe that's not my vibe, because I don't do that. So he was really wanting me to do it. I could pick up the choreography.
Yeah.
But I knew I'm not naive to, like, talent. And I'm not, like, I don't wear rose-colored glasses of, like, my capability when it comes to dance.
Fair enough.
And style.
You're honest with yourself.
I know that I would look ridiculous trying to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking on it because he was getting really upset that, like, upset's a little dramatic. He was getting like, oh, Georgia, just do it. You'll be fine. You're a dancer. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And I'm like, it won't be fine. So I
collaborate with me.
I came to a compromise.
Yeah.
We filmed it today, and the compromise was for us to be in the car where I can just do, like, my upper body little...
All upper body.
Just like a little small jiggle almost, where my lower half didn't have to be used at all. And when I told him that, he was like, huh, I can get with this. And all that to say, compromise, people.
Compromise with your husband's
Yeah.
ladies.
We're about to hit our 7th year marriage anniversary. And I would say, cheers to that, I would say the biggest takeaway that has helped, one, if we ever bicker, the settling of the dust, it always is compromising.
It's just compromise, yeah.
Because it's like, if you, and it's got really dramatic from me talking about TikTok dance, but
we love the drama.
The idea of going and just, like, not thinking that, like, your way or the highway, because that gets toxic.
Yeah, it can.
It can get toxic.
Yeah.
And I think as long as you just have, like, grace and just, like, show compromise in situations when you both have an opinion on what it should be.
Even if it's a TikTok.
Even if it's a TikTok dance. Yeah. It sounds stupid, but, like, it was like a lesson learned of, like, we could have never revisited that video at all. But I was like, let me find a compromise, because he was really excited about it.
That's all.
That's all you asked for.
And that made me happy, because I was like, like you just said, we could have never revisited the topic.
Yeah.
We could have never. I could have just accepted we would never do this dance. But the song came on in the car, and we were just.
I was just bumping, and I was like, wait, I can do this. And
she was like, but there's a contingency. Is that the right thing?
What was the contingency?
If we're in the car.
Oh yeah.
So when she said that, I was like, you know what? I respect that. All right. I'm willing to compromise.
Thank you so much.
You know what I mean?
Thank you so much.
And that's all I ever ask, is just compromise. You know, we may not do the full thing. Mm-hmm. You know, we can just use half of our bodies, or just a percentage of our limbs. You know what I'm saying?
But we did it, and we uploaded it.
And it's cool.
And it's cool.
And we're going to reenact it right now.
Absolutely not. I guess we are sitting down, so we could, but absolutely not. No.
But yeah, so no. Like, do you believe in the saying "happy wife, happy
life"?
Life.
Yeah. And we'll end it there, folks.
So there's no compromise. Oh, I got one more question for you before we get out of here.
Oh God, I'm scared.
Before we conclude, since we're on the topic of love.
Oh gosh, dramatic.
My question to you, just for the fun, this isn't a question on the go or anything, but what's something you find incredibly attractive about me that I'd never guess? As she slowly slowly sips her water.
When you are extremely goofy.
Oh, okay. I did the same exact reaction you said I would make.
Okay, just a little background. So Perris said that he wanted to ask that question. Yeah. I was like, if it comes up, it comes up. And I thought of something. And I was like, he was like, oh, really? Like, you know. And I was like, no, I'll say it on the episode. So that's like real raw reaction. And I said, your response is probably going to be like, oh, okay. He literally did that exact thing. I wish I was recording that moment so I could just slot it into this episode.
What about my goofiness?
It's just so adorable. Like, I feel like when someone is able to show that side of themselves, it just shows how vulnerable and how comfortable you are with the person. So that, to me, is a very attractive thing.
Oh.
Ew, I hate it. Gross. Okay, bye. Thank you. Goodbye. Good night. Have a good one.
And that is our episode.
It is the episode. But yeah, question on the go.
Question on the go.
Episode 9.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it because I'm going to put it in there.
Yeah.
Comment down below your response to if you could tell your future self anything, what would it be?
Yeah. Also, if you're up to it, tell us any trending challenges you would like to see us participate.
Oh, I like that.
Do,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
I love
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Peace.